Okay, so before I begin and become the laughing stock of my generation, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank the TEDx organization for giving students a platform to express ourselves, and to Hwa Chong International School for hosting this entire event. So let's start with the most obvious question in the house. We're talking about relationships. So who here is in a relationship? Please raise your hand. It's okay, you're not on camera. Okay, thank you. Now, how many of you are in a good relationship, meaning you and your partner are enjoying yourselves? Please raise your foot. Thank you. Now, how many of us here are considering to get into a relationship? Stand up and do jumping jacks. Okay. I guess there's a few of us here. Thank you very much. Friends, allow me to clarify something. I'm not here to attack the people who are in a fruitful companionship, and neither am I here to tell people that you're not supposed to get into a relationship. The mindset I'm just trying to address here is the misconceptions that people have prior to getting into relationships and before reality hits your face. So, So, I'm sure we all remember that time when we were 12 or 13 years old and you're about to blow the candles off your birthday cake. After 1 or 2 or 3 rounds of singing the happy birthday song in different languages, your parents, grandparents, cats, dogs, frogfish, chameleon, whatever pet you have at home, will tell you to close your eyes because it's time to make a wish. And so you do just that. You close your eyes. And at that very moment, a thought just dips through your head. And it tells you, hey, you're a teenager now, and you're ready to find your soulmate. Admit it or deny it, we have all thought about this. And the word relationship invariably revolves around the idea of a commitment between two people. And the things that they get to do with each other that they don't normally get to do with other people. Now don't get excited, because this is where things go wrong. So I wasn't really the best at math, but I mean even until now, that's why I take math SL. But allow me to interpret this graph for everybody. It says high school relationship outcomes. So we see the biggest part here is in red, which means a breakup. The smaller part says impulsive marriage with a quick divorce, and the smallest part says married for the rest of their lives. Now, these are very, well, you can say that the odds are stacked against us. But I'm not here to say that high school relationships are, that high schoolers or teenagers for this instance are not mature enough to handle relationships. In fact, I'd like to assert to everyone here today that teenagers are the most creative when it comes to relationships. But the thing is, a teacher once told me that the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. And person for this aspect. Now, after what experts have come to call as the honeymoon stage, couples, they start to fight. It may be 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, even a year into the relationship. So what happens? Words are being shouted at each other. Messages aren't replied, and people don't return your calls. I mean, I'm sure we all know that one student who walks down the lonely school hall and kicks himself in the gutter saying, I don't really understand what's going on right now because when we got together, everything was so smooth, but in the end, things aren't working out. So what exactly is the problem? And then you, on the other hand, are there, and you're next to him, and you don't really know what to say. And you put your hand around him and you say, hey pal, don't worry about it because there are still many fish in the sea. You still have a lot of chances. And he'll probably slap you in the face for that. So the question remains, what exactly is the problem? The problem here is unrealistic expectations. Now, I'm not saying that teenagers have very low expectations. In fact, teenagers have very high expectations because we're teenagers and we know what's best for ourselves. So the girls here would probably like someone like him. Famous guy. And I'm sure for the guys here, you would prefer someone like her. Why is there a different reaction? Okay, never mind. So, judging from the response, everyone here knows about these people. But if you do not know these people, please raise your hand and I will congratulate you personally after I finish talking, because you will be one of the first people in this world who have not been indoctrinated by the media. So quiet. So, what exactly do I mean by the media? The media here involves Hollywood, movies, books, magazines, and basically everything you see when you walk down the street and has light. Movies Who here has seen the latest movie by John Green, The Fault in Our Stars, or has read the latest Nicholas Sparks novel? I'll admit to everyone here that I have read these things, and these are great works of literature. But at the end of the day, these great works of literature are found in a place called the bookstore. And it's in the fiction section of the bookstore, if anybody still knows what a bookstore is. So when I thought of the word fiction, what does fiction really mean? So I decided to ask my best friend, Merriam-Webster, what fiction means. And she told me, that fiction is defined as written stories about people and events that are not real. Literature that tells stories which are imagined by the writer, or basically something that is not true. So let's look at these words again. Not real and imagined. So is it safe to say that movies are from a writer's imagination? When you think about romance movies, all you do is you get two beautiful and gorgeous and handsome and whatever adjective you want to put people, and you put them together, and you write them a script. And you just say lights, camera, action, and just like that, you have a romance. So what happens in reality is that the families of these actors who are acting on screen, following a script, their families get fed. Whereas we, the mere mortals and the non-Hollywood people, are on the ground here thinking, wow, I want that. And you start comparing your partner, female or male, to Hollywood's flavor of the month, because Hollywood keeps changing. So that is the problem. Oops. Mental block. What did I say? What? Oh, Merriam-Webster. Oh yeah. So, sorry. So in Hollywood, these people follow a script. And in real life, we need to follow a script. And more importantly, we need to write our own script. So what I'm about to tell you next, which is why I was so scared, is going to kill you and revive you and kill you again. A think tank in the United States called YourTango.com asked 1,000 of its web subscribers a very simple question. What exactly, do you still think about your ex? And the results of this were really scary, because 71% of these people who responded, who were in a new relationship with a new partner, said that yes, actually, I'm thinking about my ex way too much. And the singles who responded, 83% of them said that, yeah, actually, I'm missing my ex. And so they'll tell you, Dave, it's an upgrade. But at the end of the day, it is a replacement. Because if they were good enough in the first place, then why'd you get an upgrade? See, what we need to do is we need to think about what we are doing and follow through with your decision. See, the idea here is to start something that only you can finish. A lot of people tell me, casual dating is my kind of thing, Dave. I like it because I like to try different things. But then my response to that is, then most likely you will get something casual in return. Think about a writer. For a writer to write a good book, he needs to draw from his inspiration of his experiences in life and his exposure to different works of literature. The same thing is true for relationships. You need to experience your life, your teenage life. You need to meet new people, and you should not limit your options at such an early age. You can keep your options open. There's no problem with that. And so, the point I'm trying to drive here is that it is your decision. It is your decision when to stop and when to start again. Or just start if you haven't. The problem here is that people think that they can reenact the 5 minutes that they see on screen, because it makes us want more, and yet we are here and we can't really do that. So, my friends always tell me about YOLO. You only live once, right? Well, I believe that we are teenagers, and this is the most exciting part of our lives. And I agree, but if you had a chance at something special, wouldn't you want to give it all the way? Wouldn't you want to save yourself for maybe something better in the future? I call it being single by choice. So to end, instead of discovering about someone else who is in turn discovering about themselves, why don't you discover who you are first? So to close, I'd just like to share a quote that a wise man once told me. He said, stop looking for the right one and focus on being the right one. You attract what you are and not what you want. Friends, there's no need to rush, because at the end of the day, we still have a lot of time. We are teenagers. Thank you.